Hello again, welcome to PaintersBlock. I'm your host, Anthony Ryden, and today we will be painting the Armored Gargant and going over a little bit of OSL and painting his laser. I decided to go with blue. It was a 50-50 on the pole, but I did use a purple background or a burgundy background for the shield. So as you see, we did a little bit of blue on the backpack just to get it all started. I wanted to kind of match those colors with the laser to make it seem more like it was powering up from the backpack. And I just thought it'd make this nice backdrop color with the orange, so it'd give a good contrast. So we're going to start off with the titanium white, and whatever nice small brush you want to use. I like this angled dry brush, so I can get into areas and feather it out if I need to. But here I'm just going to go over. I already did the laser portion, but I'm going to show you what I did is I just go over whatever I'm going to want to blow up with or have a lot of color on. Brighten up. I'm going to put white first so I can get that true color down. And that titanium white is just a very clear, very bright white. It's very nice. And it lays down pretty thick. You don't have to put down more than one layer usually. And you're just going to find all the areas that are going to be lit up from this OSL that you want to set up. And as you can see, I already set up some OSL on like the helmet and the backpack so that we can kind of see how bright we want to make it, and we're going to need it pretty bright, so I'm going to try my best to make this as bright as I can. So next step we're going to grab is the deep blue, and I'm using Army Painter for the most part, but you can use whatever type of paint you'd like. This one actually ends up being a little bit too runny for me, and no matter how much I get it on the dry brush, it always seems a little bit too runny. So I would maybe try a different type of deep blue. I didn't quite enjoy this one from Army Painter, but at least we give it a shot. I tried drying it out on the paper towel, and it still needs a little bit more taken out. I do make sure to try to get as much of the water as I can out of the brush from when I tried cleaning it, but it didn't seem like that was much of the issue. So I do believe that the Armored Painter Deep Blue is just a very runny consistency. But here we're just going to put this wherever we want that light to be shining, because this is going to be our overall color, and wherever the light tends to dim out and go the farthest, that's going to be the color I want to be going the farthest, because that is going to be its main color. So the next thing we're going to grab is the electric blue, which is this brighter hue of blue, and we're going to start evening out all of this coat because it didn't lay down that evenly, and I really like how this color really evens out that deep blue. Now just keep on going over and try to hit any areas that you think are going to be hit by the light, and I'm not really being too careful about where I'm hitting. I'm using my pretty large dry brush, because it's going to be a very bright laser. I really want it to seem like it's overly bright, like it's about to shoot something. So now we're grabbing the electric blue and the titanium white, and I'm mixing half-half because I'm just going to put it inside the center of each of my laser points and just try to brighten up this laser a bit more because it seems a little bit flat. I want to try to make every point that has more energy flowing through it that you can see, and trying to brighten any of that up as I can. So we're going to go over with that little blend of half-half and go over all of the points on the laser that we want to brighten up. So I got my barrel all brightened up, and I like that, so I went around and I did a little bit more on just the grates and stuff that we brightened up earlier that you can see right there. But now we're grabbing the void shield, and we're just gonna put this all over the areas that we're trying to brighten up, and we're just blending in that titanium white half-half mix with the electric blue because it still didn't quite blend too well, so the void shield blue really was a nice blend to put it all together. Now once you've got this step done, you can just kind of go around and make sure that you get anything you want. I noticed that I didn't get enough void shield on some of my other pieces, so I actually tried to bring that into some of the other spots that I had already painted. just to bring it together right there on like the crate and whatnot, and the power pack. But here you're just gonna brighten up all the spots that we're trying to make look like it's glowing, and it's already starting to look a little bit more like it's a blown out, something's lighting up from inside of it, which is quite nice. And it's starting to contrast very nicely with that orange light. And if you like what we got going on, please leave a like. It really helps me out. And follow me here on YouTube and on Instagram, and maybe leave or hit that notification bell so you can see what's going on. We're going to be posting a little bit less often, but I'm going to be trying to put out more like better content, and try to bring you some more advanced stuff as well, and take some more of your guys' opinions into my next videos, and just try to get you guys involved, and try to break all of our painters block, because I don't know about you, but this flu hit me pretty hard. I got COVID, I got the flu, I was almost sick for like a month. I've just had the worst painter's block, honestly, lately. So I just gotta say thank you guys so much for being patient with me and helping me out with all my questions, and just helping me out throughout all these videos and teaching me along the way. You guys are really the best, and you've made this experience really great for me. So here I'm grabbing the dry brush and just more of that void shield, and I'm going in. I brightened up some of those areas with the titanium white, and I'm just trying to like pull it all apart and try to make it look like it's moving. And I don't know if you guys like this. If it might be a little too messy of a movement, I wonder if I should try to clean it up and make it look more like it's like straight lines involved, less blended, but like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. But tell me what you think on how I should make it look a little bit brighter. I'm trying my best here, but it just seems like I can't quite get it to look as bright as I want it to be. So here I'm going to show you my little blend on how to make a burnt muzzle on like a gun. So like when your gun shoots, it gets really hot. You start off with the Abaddon black, and you're going to go to the muzzle of the gun, and you're just going to paint that around where you want it to be darkest. And I actually did a little bit of this in that Phoenix video that I have a tutorial out. I can put a link in the description below if you want to check out a more in-depth tutorial. But then the next step after this is you're going to grab the deep blue, or I have the Stormcast Storm Fiend blue. And it's a contrast that's really nice, and it really blends in well with the black. So this is going to be your next part. You're just going to put this on and not quite go past the black. You're going to leave a little bit of that Abaddon black, but you're going to cover most of it with that blue. Now that you covered that with all that deep blue, you're going to grab your Baal red contrast, or whatever deep red kind of contrast that you can use to kind of blend in here. You can use whatever deep red, doesn't have to be a contrast, but I tend to like to use the contrast for this. And I'm just going to put this around the muzzle. I'm not covering all of that blue, I'm not covering any of that black really that I left behind. I'm starting to just fade my way into the very edge of the muzzle of the gun. So now I'm grabbing that lava orange, and I'm gonna try to find another orange, because this orange is starting to get a little runny on me, and I'm kind of not enjoying it as much as I used to, but it's still a nice shade. So we're gonna use this for now until we find a new orange. If you guys have a preference on your oranges, I would love to hear it. I would love to pick up some more orange into my collection. Now here we just put that on the muzzle, and then I'm also going to put that, since that was the same light as my light on the helmet, put a little bit on the barrel just to give a little bit more of that OSL, and I put some of that on the horns right there on the gun. You can kind of see it in between where the gold would be. There's also orange, so you can actually see that there's a little bit of orange light going in between where the blue wouldn't hit, but the blue is still hitting the edges. And you do that by edge highlighting the blue over those like the needles on the gun, and then you just go into the recesses with a little bit of the orange. But yeah, you just spend a lot of time tapping areas with the color that you want to show the OSL. That's why you want to keep in mind what your primary color is. Our primary for this was deep blue for the blues, and our orange was lava orange. So we're just keeping that in mind, and then anytime we want to add a little bit more OSL to any areas, we want to make it look more reflective, like it's reaching to that area, we just got to keep in mind that that paint is what we used. And there you go. It's already looking cool, and I really like how it has that half lighting. It gives more contrast and just gives us more of a really interesting aesthetic to the model. And we're going to be able to pull that down into the remote, and it's going to go all the way down the model, and it's going to be really fun later. And we're going to use mostly no airbrush throughout the whole process. I might cover a little bit of airbrush. If you guys want, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, I hope you had a great time today, and I hope we taught you a little bit something, and I hope you can teach me something too. Thank you guys, and I hope we helped you break your painter's block.